Alright guys, when you get to the test portion, I'm adding this to the very beginning of my video because as I did the test, if anybody else have they encountered this, does it take this long just to get to 40 degrees? And I probably would prefer my popping water to be even down a little more, another 5 degrees colder. But my test just went from ambient, which at the time was 73, down to 40 degrees in this unit. And I don't know, I would like to know other people's experiences with this unit. How effective is it in the time it takes to get things chilled, and have you actually used it as a freezer, and did it take, and what time period did it take from starting it to get to the freezing temperature that you got to? Alright, appreciate that. Alright guys, so today I want to take a look at and review and test the Alpicool C20 portable car fridge and freezer. And I received this a few weeks back from Amazon. Okay, one thing I do want to state here is I did try to contact this Alpicool from their online forum that they have, where you send them a message through their website. Got no reply. I tried calling them, and I received one text, oddly, that said, "Sorry we missed your call, please contact this guy at an email address." So I tried that numerous times, and then I also called. So in 3 weeks' time, Alpicool has never gotten back to me to see what I wanted, and I left several, probably 4 different messages over probably those 4 days, one a day, saying, "Hey, could you contact me? I've got a question." They never ever got back to me, whether the online forum that they have, by email, or by phone call. So I hope I never have a problem with this, because it just seems like their customer service is not good. I don't know if anybody else has had issues with theirs, had to contact the company. What is your experience? Now my boss at work actually has one, said he's been very happy with it, so hopefully that's the case with mine. Don't have to have any, have to contact the company in any manner. But so I thought, you know, this is really cool, and so that's why I bought it. Now this is the Alpicool model C20, and it's fast cooling for 12-volt car fridge at -4 degrees Fahrenheit to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and it runs off of 12 or 24 volts DC. And you can also use it on AC at 100 or 240 volts for outdoor camping, RV, truck, or boat. I like those options. Now I ordered this from Amazon on July 26, 2023. At that time I paid $199.99 plus tax. Now we're going to do a test on this, but before we do any of that, we're going to take a look at it. Let's go over a few specs given on the website. The net weight of this unit is 19.8 pounds. It is a 0.7 cubic foot capacity, or 21 quart or 20 liters capacity, and it states that it is 30 12-ounce cans, or 15 18-ounce water, or 9 25-ounce red wine. And again, those are specs given from Amazon's website. As to the external dimensions, they are 23.5 inches long, 12.6 inches wide, and 12.6 inches high. As to the internal dimensions, 13.8 inches long, 9.7 inches wide, and 9.9 inches high from the bottom to the top of the inside of that lid when closed. Also on the website, it is stated that once powered off, it will last for 10 hours, and the insulation thickness is given as 1.7 inches or 44 millimeters. So let's take a look at the latch. They give you a little depression here to put your hand in. You can push up if you want or lift. It does have a nice snug. It's got these little tabs on both sides that mate with these little indents here. So here, and then it goes into here on both sides. And you can see that it closes good. It's got a nice tug on it, so it should stay securely closed. And here you see the hinge area. On both ends of the unit, it does have a nice grip here for a handle that you can lift up to lift the chest. And here we see the control panel, which is on the right side of the unit. Here we're on the back side, the back right of the unit, and it's got these vents for heat dissipation. We also see the same thing on the right side end, and then we go around to the front, and it has the same thing. Always make sure that if you've got this in your car, RV, or somewhere, that you don't have anything surrounding it so that it can properly vent any heat. And if dust collects over time, blow it out, use a sweeper, keep those vents clean. And here, guys, on the right side is where we have our power cord that we'll plug into for either 110 or 12 volts. Now here's your adapter for your car or RV for 12 volts or 24 volts, and it's a very generous length, 8 foot overall, and so it easily plugs in just like that. It's nice and firm, and it is polarized, so it can only go in one way. And I like the fact that it's snug like that, so it can't accidentally unplug. But if you take a look here, you'll see that notch. You cannot put it in this way because the notch in here has to line up, the tab in here has to line up with the notch here. So that's also very nice. So here's your AC adapter. Overall, it is 82 inches long, and you get this piece here, and then the rest of the cord plugs in here, and then obviously plugs the same way into the unit here, and then this end that goes into your AC. Now I do want to state this came shipped very well from Amazon. You see the box on the right, that was the outer box. The actual carton, the box that the unit came in, is the one on the left in the center there. And then the unit itself was encased, both top and bottom, in that nice clamshell styrofoam. So I like the fact that the box was inside of a box. Now, as can be seen here with the box that the fridge came in, it states this side up, non-inverted, fragile, handled gently. So just because of the fact that this was inside this other box, you never know how it was handled, because this box, the main box that it was in, was not marked then in any manner. So what I did when I got it is I didn't even turn it on for about 12 hours. Now obviously you get a big refrigerator that has the cooling fins and stuff. Anytime you lay it down or anything, you have to wait. I believe they say about 12 to 24 hours. Now obviously your compressor in here is nowhere near like what you have, because you want to make sure the oil's drained back to the compressor. That's why you do that. This being so small, I don't know how long you'd have to wait. Don't even know if you'd have to wait. I did that as a precaution, though, just to let anybody know. That's how I did that, like I said, because you want to make sure your compressor that's in here has the oil that's required. Your plugs and informational pamphlet you get here came inside this box, which was inside the refrigerator. Here, guys, you see 15 pop cans. They're 12 fluid ounces each. But now check this out. Not only can you get the 15, but if you put them in there something like this, you will actually get all 24 cans that you can get when you buy a case. Very nice. This is the bottled water that I get from Walmart, and as you can see, they're 16.9 fluid ounces each. Now check this out, boys and girls. You can get 19 of them in there like this. Alright, let's look at the control panel. I've got it plugged into the unit. Now when I plug it into the wall, it does that. To turn this thing on, all you have to do is press and hold this button, just like that. This is going to show you the temperature that this is sitting at right now, 73 degrees. Now, did you hear the compressor come on? And then this thing shook just a little bit. It does have a USB port here that you can plug your phone into for charging. Your USB plug here is rated at 5 volts, 1 amp if you want to charge your phone. Now when you initially turn this on, it's going to show your current temperature, which here it shows 74 degrees Fahrenheit. So when you initially turn it on, you can also change your temperature. Now I have it set to 40, so when I push the minus, it's going to show 40. When it's done flashing, it's going to set it to 40. One thing I like about this is I can push it to plus, it still shows 40. So anytime you initially push the plus or minus, it shows what it's set at. It doesn't incrementally put it up. And obviously, if you do that, or down, and just let it set, that's the temperature that's going to set once it stops blinking. Verify it, just push the button again, 37. So I'm going to go back up to 40. It also has what they call a battery protection mode. Push and hold that. You'll see an H. That's for high. Push it again. That's low, medium, and high. So I'm going to keep the battery protection mode to high. When it stops flashing, that's what's going to be set. And you can pause this frame. Here's a little bit more about battery protection mode if you want to read about it. Just pause the frame. Now it does state that this unit will automatically power off when an overload occurs or car battery is in low voltage. And the rated power is 45 watts. Okay guys, you'll note where it says fuse here. So let's pull that out. I can just use my fingernail on this little tab right here. Pull that out. That allows you to remove the cover. And we'll set that aside. And we see that there's a 15 amp fuse. So let's pull this out. I'm just taking a small blade screwdriver to grab one end of it. It's very narrow in there. And you'll see that it is in fact a 15 amp fuse. So if for some reason your unit shuts down and the overload protection occurs and it powers off and it doesn't power back on after you've allowed it to set a while, check this fuse and make sure that it hasn't blown. And for those that may not know, and I said most people should know this, but I'm going to state it in case you don't. See how you got that arc in the center that goes up and around? If it's blown, it's going to be in two pieces. There'll be a break in it. That lets you know that the fuse has blown, and that's the culprit. So now all we got to do is put the fuse back in. You'll see where it goes in, where those two blades are in the center here. When you line it up, make sure that it's going to go in center there. Push it in. Take your cover and put it in just like that. Now you'll notice that it says max right here. So that's for the maximum fast cooling, or you can have an eco energy saving setting, and you simply just push, don't hold it down. You'll see max flashes, you'll see echo flashes. So just you can toggle back and forth by just pushing that. Right now it's on max, and now I'll keep it on echo. When the echo stops flashing, whatever stops flashing, that's what it's set at. So right now that's on echo economy, and that's probably where I would have it if it was in my car. But I'm going to go ahead and put it to max, running it off of AC. Alright guys, so I said I was going to do a test, which I'm going to do a different one today. Let me tell you about the initial one I did. The ambient temperature of the unit started out at 74 degrees. That's what the was shown. And I set it to go to a 40 degree temperature for the water and pop that I put in there for the test. So I wanted it to go to 40 degrees, and I decided to put it out in the sun. It was going to be in the 90s, and it was very hot that day. So I wanted it, and my thought was, most people are going to put it in the shade or somewhere, but what if for some reason it was out in the sun? How long would it take to go from ambient temperature to 40 degrees? And I know that was kind of brutal, but I actually checked the lid temperature with this infrared thermometer that you see here. And the lid temperature that I got in the center of the lid at one point was 131.7 degrees. So finally, at around 2 hours and 40 minutes, it had only gotten to 47 degrees per the what was shown on the dial, the face here, the temperature setting. So it took 2 hours 40 minutes to go from 74 degrees internal temperature of the unit to 47 degrees. And so at that point I just said it was a lost cause. But I just wanted to give that a try. So it couldn't keep up. It would not. The small unit would not keep up with that. So what we're going to do today, this is in my garage. At the moment, it's not that, it's very cloudy. It's a rather cool day. Now, I'm showing on this thermometer here, I don't know how accurate they are, that it's right around 70 degrees, maybe 71, something like that. Okay, that's what that's showing. And again, I don't know how accurate those are. And I've got 9 water and then 9 pop inside here. And so, same that I had the other day. We're going to start out with the ambient temperature. So let me turn the unit on here a second. And I am showing 73 degrees. Here you see 73 degrees. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take a timer. We're going to close the lid. And we're going to see how long it takes to get to 40. Now, let me check the temperature here. And it's still 40. You can see it flashing. It's 40. Once it stops, okay, we're set to 40. So, let me close the lid. Let me hit the timer. And we're on. We'll see what happens. Well guys, we're approaching 10 minutes and it's still showing 73 degrees. and you should be able to hear the unit running. Alright guys, at around 10 minutes and 35 seconds I just saw it go down to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And remember now, this is inside my garage. So right now it's cloudy, the sun is not out, and so this would be ideal right now because it's just ambient temperature, nice cool breeze. It's very nice. So let's see what happens. Alright guys, as we approach 15 minutes, it's now down to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay guys, we're approaching 30 minutes, and we see that we are at 62 degrees. Alright guys, so we are approaching 45 minutes, and we are now at 58 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're approaching 1 hour 15 minutes, and we're at 54 degrees. And as you recall, at 45 minutes, a half hour ago, we were at 58 degrees. And right now on my thermometer I'm showing the temperature, let's see here, is about 76 degrees. About 76 degrees now, which is the outside temperature. Again, don't know how accurate these things are that you buy locally here, but that's what we're showing so far. Okay guys, so at 1 hour 30 minutes we're into 52 degrees. Well guys, we're coming up on 2 hours and we're only at 48 degrees. This is unbelievable. We've got 8 more degrees to go to get to 40. I just can't believe this. Is this normal? And I hate to contact the company because, as I stated earlier, they never get back to you. I don't know what to do. It's an Amazon thing. I'm pushing the time limit here, I think, for the return, but I may just write this off. But because I think you got 30 days, and I'm getting pretty close to that because I've been busy with other things, and I just like I said, been busy with other things, just haven't really had time to test it and use it. But this is ridiculous. 2 hours and 48 degrees from an ambient temperature of, what would I say, it started out at 73 to start. And this is ideal conditions today. This is inside my garage. There's a breeze coming in to the garage. A nice cool breeze. It's totally clouded over. There is no sun that's even out. So if it can't do it any quicker than this, and then let me take a reading. Okay, and I'm getting 73.4 degrees to the temperature on top of the lid. But yeah, if somebody has this, is this normal? Am I expecting too much? I mean, this is a small unit. I've not opened the door at all. And I think this is a realistic test, very realistic. Because if you decide at the spur of the moment to go somewhere in the morning, that's why I didn't have the pop pre-chilled in the refrigerator. What's the use? It should be able to take something of this small volume and get it down quicker. Maybe I'm wrong. So somebody tell me whether I'm expecting too much. Is this okay? Obviously in the future I would have it pre-chilled. That's ideal. But again, for this test, I want to see, hey, where do we go from an ambient temperature of the pop water in the unit? How long will it take to get to just 40 degrees? I can't imagine it going to freezing. I just can't imagine it. We're going to press on with this test and see how long it takes for 40 degrees. Alright, 2 hours, 30 minutes approaching, and we are only at 46 degrees. 2 hours 45 minutes and we have 45 degrees. Alright, next guys, what I want to do here is, I haven't even tried this USB port. I think it's a nice feature to have if you want to charge your phone. So anyways, let's take a look here. We'll plug it in and we'll see that it does in fact charge. And then I just unplugged it. So very nice. I like that feature. Coming up on the 3-hour mark, and you can see we are at 44 degrees. Coming up on that 3-hour 15 minutes, 43 degrees. Wow, we're getting ever so close to 40 degrees. Three and a half hours, 42 degrees. Approaching 3 hours, 45 minutes, and 41 degrees. Well guys, there you see it changing. It's kind of vasculating back and forth. But there we are, about 3 hours, 46 minutes. And I watched it as it turned 40. Then I went to turn the camera on. Then it went to 41 and then back there. It probably showed a little bit here. So that's what you got. 40 degrees. 3 hours and 46 minutes or so. That seems a little bit out of the, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right for such a small unit. Obviously the pump's small. Maybe I'm just expecting too much. Now you see it went back up to 41. Obviously it's trying to hold the 40 degree temperature, so it's probably going to shut off, then turn on and off to maintain 40 degrees. Otherwise it would get colder than 40. Well, I'm almost afraid to open it, but we'll pull one of these out. We're gonna do it kind of quick, because you notice how I put it in there. I had some water and some pop. That way, if you've got this somewhere and there's other people going to be using it, you kind of want to make sure you've got the assortment, so that way you don't have to leave this open any longer than needed. With a chest, normally the cold air will go to the bottom, versus a refrigerator. When you open up the door, the cold air will rush out. So let's just see. We're going to take one of these out. It's cold. I don't know that it's let me open it up and taste it. And yes, it is. It's not bad. 40 degrees. Now it's showing 42 degrees on here because I had the door open. So I'm going to open it up here, and I want to get a temperature reading with my infrared thermometer. See what we get. Can see some water on the sides here. There is some ice here that collected. Let me... that can of pop shows 68.2. Let me get a reading down at the bottom. Down at the bottom I'm showing 51.3 at the bottom of this unit. $59.7. So I'm not quite sure that this is actually at that 40 degree mark. I'm not sure where they're getting it, but so now we're showing 45 degrees. obviously because you had it open. So you always want to make sure you open it up and get it get what you want as quick as possible. Well, I'll tell you, I just can't see this thing getting if it gets real cold, it must take it forever. I mean forever. I have to say that I'm not real happy with this because I don't feel the pop is 40 degrees. Is it okay? Yeah. I mean, I could have went colder, don't get me wrong, and I probably should. But it's acceptable here at 40 degrees. Let me take another swig of that. It's acceptable. Certainly better than ambient temperature. If it wasn't, probably would want to go to maybe 35, but Lord knows how long that would take. So anyways, that's it for the test. Has anybody else done something like this? Are these figures pretty normal? Have you gotten colder? Have you tried freezing temperatures? And do you know how long it took to get down to these 32, 20? I think they said it goes to -4. I'd like to know if my test is typical of the length of time that it should take.